In the early 1800s, Carmi consisted of only a few log houses, small stores, a mill, and a small hotel. With the settlement located next to the Little Wabash River, Carmi would soon turn into a prosperous agricultural community. A gentleman named James Ratcliff moved west from Virginia in 1818, and he would soon become very important to this small settlement that he would call home. Mr. Ratcliff gained the nickname Old Beaver because of his hard work and commitment to serving his new town. He was the first postmaster, county clerk, circuit clerk, and probate judge for Carmi, and he held these positions for many years. Today, however, Mr. Ratcliff is widely remembered for his establishment of an old stagecoach stop, the Ratcliff Inn. The inn was originally built in 1828, and it served as a tavern and rest stop for traveling pioneers on their journeys through the area. Mr. Ratcliff and his wife, Margaret, also lived at the inn and were known for being very hospitable. Many memorable events happened around the historic Ratcliff Inn. In June of 1830, on the back porch of the inn, their daughter, Nancy Jane Ratcliff, would marry future Illinois Senator Edwin B. Webb. In 1840, Abraham Lincoln spent a night in the Ratcliff Inn while in Carmi speaking at a political rally on behalf of running President William Henry Harrison. Nancy Jane and Edwin Webb's daughter, Martha Lane, who was 7 years old at the time, would even ride with Mr. Lincoln from Carmi to Mount Carmel. After being a stagecoach stop for around 50 years, the inn would begin to house a wide variety of businesses and services. In the 1890s, the upstairs of the building would serve as Carmi's first public library. A law practice, office spaces, a donut shop, and a patent medicine company are examples of what would pass through the rooms of this historic building. By the 1960s, the Ratcliff Inn was quickly falling to ruin due to age and neglect. Plans were made to destroy the building and create parking areas for nearby businesses, but the newly organized White County Historical Society decided to invest in the property to preserve its history. The property sold for $15,000, and the society spent $16,000 restoring it. Over the next decade, the Historical Society was able to raise funds through community donations to pay off their investment. In the late 1980s, the Historical Society started a genealogy library, and it was housed in this space before relocating to the old Carnegie Library in 1999. Today, the Ratcliff Inn serves as a museum full of local history, is open to the community several times per year, and opens for private tours upon request. Visitors can find the West Room furnished with Victorian-era East Lake furniture donated by the late Ms. Vivian Day. The East Room serves as an event room to host Historical Society events. In the upstairs space, the floors, fireplaces, mantels, and woodwork are almost all original. The larger room hosts a museum full of preserved articles and objects from Carmi's history. Many items belong to some of the most notable founders of our town. Since the building was originally an inn, the Upper East Room has been furnished with items that one might find in an 1800s sleeping space, most of which are from right here in White County. There are items from some of the prominent historical figures of Carmi, including Senator Edwin B. Webb's travel trunk, coat, and vest. You can also find Senator John Robinson's cape, which is depicted in his famous portrait. Over 60 years after being restored, the Ratcliff Inn is still a beautiful historic attraction thanks to the White County Historical Society and the many volunteers who ensure that it continues to be well maintained. In its earliest years, it welcomed weary travelers as they passed through the newly established town of Carmi. Today, it still welcomes hundreds of visitors each year who are eager to step back in time and learn more about the local history.